Hi everybody. I'm probably about a minute early. I want to say, let me turn the camera a little bit. I want to say welcome to my page. I am Kim from Nana's Keepsake, and I am the owner and creator of this page. And I guess we'll wait for some people to come on, since I did come on a little earlier. I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to find you guys on my computer so I can read comments. Otherwise, I'll have to read the comments from my phone. Let's see here. Yeah, so far I'm not having any luck. Oops. Darn it. Oh well, forget the computer. We'll just read it off the phone. So anyways, tonight we are going to, again, I'm doing a brand new petal. It's called the reverse Star Trek petal. I have done numerous Star Trek petals the normal way. Some of you people who know me, I've done wreaths that require about 100 petals. This one is only going to be about 32 petals. And so far I'm not seeing any comments yet. Hopefully they come up soon. Sorry guys, my phone is acting up tonight. Anyways, we'll keep going. Julie's going to be on here helping me read comments and answer any questions that you guys may have. So I guess we'll get going. And so we're using the Unique in the Creek board, the small, let me turn the camera a little bit. We're going to use the small Unique in the Creek flower board. I like using this board. It's so easy and versatile. Why isn't I'm not getting any comments? Julie, I hope you can help me, because I cannot see any comments whatsoever. I got nothing coming up for whatever reason. Anyways, so I got most of my board loaded. I left a couple so that way you guys could see. And as you can see from the back, on the small Unique in the Creek board, there's 4 rows. This is considered row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. And we are using row 2 and row 3. Now on this wreath, because I am doing the reverse Unique in the reverse Star Trek petal, I am not using what these are called normal holes. I am going to use the share holes. So I have loaded my row 2 with the 2 share holes, and then I skipped the normal hole, and then I went back into the share holes, skip normal. So we're going to finish loading this board. And again, if anybody needs to order any of these boards, you can always use my affiliate link with Unique in the Creek, which is pinned on my page, Nana's Keepsakes. And anytime you order your boards, you get 5% off. Plus, I call it the one-stop shop, because not only can you buy your boards from there, but they have signs, they have vinyl, mesh, ribbon, and sometimes other embellishments. So if you guys ever get a chance, check it out. They have some really nice stuff. Hi, Sandy. Oh, I can finally see a comment. Okay, so we're going to finish loading the board. We only have 4 zip ties left. So for some of you who have never loaded a board, we're going to turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see the zip tie. This is the flat and this is the bumpy. Whenever you put it into the board, you always want to make sure the flat is facing up. And like I said, we're going to skip these 2 holes, which is called the normal, and we're going to actually go into the share holes. So my flat is facing up towards the ceiling. I'm going to put it into my hole, and I'm going to bring it up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to you're going to hear like a little click. You don't want to go all the way because you want to make sure that you'll be able to get your petal inside. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Frida. Yes, you are at the right spot. Thank you for joining me tonight. So that zip tie that I just put in, now I'm going to put another one in that same hole, and I'm going to bring it up at the next one. And I'm going to zip tie that. I'm going to skip the normal hole on the board, and this is on row 2. And I'm going to go into the share hole right here, and I'm going to come up, and I'm going to click it a little bit, and I'm going to put one more into that share hole. Again, this is 32 zip ties on the board. And it's only using row 2 and row 3. And for row 3, I not only use the normal holes, but I also use the share holes. Okay, so let's get started on the petal. Again, this is called the reverse Star Trek petal. If anybody's ever made the Star Trek, it's kind of the same, except that it's going to be upside down. So I am using tonight the Royal Blue Poly Burlap mesh, and I cut my pieces 10 by 10. So you always want to make sure that it's curl side up. I have my factory edge always on my left side to the top, and my other factory edge towards the bottom on my right. And what I'm going to do, and because I'm left-handed, I probably do things a little bit backwards, but I'm going to bring this corner up to this corner, and I'm going to smooth it down. And then I'm going to take my left corner, I'm going to bring it over to my right corner, and I'm just going to turn it this way so you guys can see it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to the tip here, and then I'm going to grab these 2 corners and I'm going to pull them together. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it looks like there's a bump right in the middle. And from there, I'm going to kind of push it down and then bring them together. And then kind of just pull the petals together. And here is where I kind of fix them a little bit. Kind of tuck it in because I want to make sure that got a nice little crease in the center and that my point is straight up. Can you guys see that? Oh, you're left-handed too, Carla? Oh, good. I'm not the only one. So you just kind of tuck it in a little bit, and just to make sure it looks nice. And then what I'm going to do is, because I made my petals ahead of time, I'm going to take my handy dandy Dollar Tree rubber bands, and I'm just going to put a rubber band on it. Some people use clips when they make these. I like to get my petals all made and then put a rubber band on it. And then what I do is I make sure that from tip to where my rubber band is about 5.5 inches. And then there's all this excess, this extra stuff. I'm just going to cut that off because there's no sense trying to get that into the board, because it will kind of mess up when you go to do your necks. So there's one, and let's do another one right away. Again, curl side up. My factory edge always up at my left top, and the other factory edge at my bottom right. I'm going to bring my bottom corner up to the top. Kind of make sure that, you know, it all kind of lines up. Just press it down. And I'm going to take my left corner, and I'm going to bring it over to the right. So it looks like another triangle. Can you see that? It looks like a triangle. Let me hold it that way. And then why they call it a Star Trek is because if you were to pull on it, it looks like the Star Trek symbol. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue pulling those edges together. I want to kind of make sure that they're lined up here. And then where that little bump is, I'm just going to press it down. Just like that. And then I'm just going to kind of gather my sides in to the middle. And I'm going to take a look at my petal. Make sure that everything is kind of tucked in nicely. And that my tip is nice and pointed. Let me take a look at it. And there's your reverse Star Trek petal. And I'm going to take a rubber band and I'm going to rubber band it. And then I just always make sure that from the tip to where the rubber band is about 5.5 inches. That way I know it's a nice size for the for your petal. And I'm going to clip off this excess because we don't need it. So now we can start loading the board, and we can pretty much start anywhere. Like I said, 32 petals using row 2 and row 3. And so I'm going to just start putting them in. And I kind of put them in up until where I put that rubber band. And I'm going to tighten it a little bit. Grab my next one. When I go to put my next one in, I always want to make sure that my tips are lined up nicely. I grab a couple more petals here. And this, you know, once you get all your petals made, and you get your board loaded up, this will go really fast getting them put in. I think that's why I like doing these flowers with different petals, because it just goes by so fast. Everybody can see okay? What kind of mesh am I using tonight? I am using, it's called Royal Blue. Yeah, Royal Blue Poly Burlap mesh. I don't know if you guys need the skew or not. I can give you the skew. I think I bought this from a craft outlet, if I'm not mistaken. It is item number RP, I think it's 810325. That is what you said, that it is easy. It is easy. I think so. At least it's not 100 petals, right, Nancy? You would kill me if I was doing 100 petal wreath right now. So we're just going to continue around the board, just kind of making sure that my petals are nice and even. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the sign I'm using tonight. I saw this sign and I fell in love with it because of the colors. But it's a welcome sign, and it's got some yellow and white and the blue, and I just thought it would kind of be happy and cheery and springy, and I got this sign from Personally Yours. I think she had a sale on some of her stuff. I know I got some ribbon and everything, so, and I saw this sign, so that's why I purchased it. Just kind of making sure the petals are nice and even as I go around. Oh, thank you. I love Lee's signs too. She has some really, really, really cute ones. And her price for her signs are not bad at all. I think it's a pretty fair price for them. I do too, Kathy. I love that yellow and blue. Can you guys see okay? I was trying to make sure I made more room on my table this time so you guys could see the whole thing. Again, this is the reverse Star Trek petal. At first it was a little putsy because I was trying just to get it so perfect. Hi, Smokey. Smokey, Grandma says hi. Hey, Mom. But once I started making all of them, it just seemed like they came together really nicely. And again, on row 2, I went into the shared holes, not the normal holes on the board. So that's why it's kind of looking like there's a space in between, because we're not using that normal. See, there's the normal. We're using the shared holes. So we got a couple more on this row, and then I can show you how to do the petal again. So how is everybody doing this evening? We had nice weather earlier today. It was, well, we had bad storms last night, but then today it got up in the 60s, and by lunchtime when I walked outside, the temperature had dropped again. So this is part of the reason why I needed to do this wreath, because I need spring to come a lot faster than what it's been. Okay, so I'm going to use my zip tie gun. If anybody doesn't know what it is it helps to tighten the zip tie and also cut it. It's very helpful with people who may have arthritis in their hands. They don't have to use a lot of pressure on it. You can get these on Amazon. I think they're like $15. And you put the zip tie in there, that little hole, and then you squeeze and it tightens it, and then it cuts it, which is really nice. So we're just going to go around and we're going to cut these zip ties. So last week when I did that live and I did that mesh wreath on that Unique in the Creek board, afterwards Julie and I stayed up to 1:30 and I got my videos uploaded to YouTube. I was so excited. I keep telling my husband, I'm famous now, I'm on YouTube. He's not buying it, guys. So anyways, this is what we have so far. So it makes a pretty nice size wreath. The size of it as of right now, it's about 19.5 inches. So it's not real big, and it's narrow enough that it'll be able to fit in between screen doors for people who have screen doors. All right, so now I will show you how to do the petal again before we start on the third row. Again, curl side up, factory side on my left, and on my right, I'm going to bring my bottom up to my top and meet the corners. I'm going to kind of smooth out my poly burlap mesh. And then I'm going to bring my left side over to meet my right, so it looks like a triangle. I'm going to turn it around, because now what I want to do is I want to hold the top of this point right here, kind of pull it, and then grab the two corners with my other fingers and kind of pull it, making sure that these two edges meet. Once I do that, then I just push this down in the middle. So you're kind of getting that little bit of an indentation. Yeah, Julie, I'm not seeing any comments whatsoever. Just like that. And then I'm just going to rubber band it. And then I usually just kind of fix it again. So in that way you have a nice petal. And then I always, like I said, make sure that I'm about 5.5 inches from the tip to where my rubber band is. So we'll put some more in, and then I'll use the last mesh to show how to do the petal one more time. Again, for row 3, we're using every single hole. We're using the normal hole plus the shared hole. So it doesn't matter where you start. You can start anywhere. And so my first one, it kind of fits right in between. And that's what they're going to kind of lay in between each petal that you put on the second row. You want to make sure that your tips are even again. I know it is a pretty blue. My petals are awesome. Thank you very much, Janine. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's why they call it a Star Trek. Isn't it cool? So the only reason why it's reverse is because you got that indentation. If it was a normal Star Trek, it would be like this, where it looks like a little bit, you can see that, kind of like a little scoop. And because we're flipping it over, that's why I've been calling it reverse, if that makes sense. Kind of gives it a different effect on these flower petals. I mean, I still think it looks like a sunflower, but I don't know. Maybe you guys think it looks like a daisy. So we're just going to keep going around the board, just making sure that my tips are all lining up and they're even. So it's a fairly easy wreath to do. We'll put one more petal in, and then I'll show you how to do the last petal before we add the rest of them. For anybody who has come on a little bit late. I'll cut these zip ties off real quick. So this is what we have so far, guys. We're about halfway. And now we're just going to do the last petal. 10 by 10 pieces. I'm using poly burlap. You probably could use the horizontal wide stripe. I bet that would look really good. Maybe even fabric mesh. I'm not sure how deco mesh would work with it being kind of thin, but you could try it. So again, I'm bringing my bottom corner up to the top so it looks like a triangle. I'm going to kind of smooth it out, making sure that my corners, and then I'm going to bring my left corner to my right. So again, it's another triangle. And then I'm grabbing onto my tip, and then I'm pulling the two bottom corners together, making sure that they line up right here. And then I'm just going to push this down to kind of get that little indentation. And then I'm just going to kind of pull my sides to my middle. I'm just kind of, I got to look at it just to kind of fix it a little bit. And there's your Star Trek, your reverse Star Trek petal. And I'm going to rubber band. Kylie. I kind of just, you know, fold it out a little bit, stretch it, whatever, to kind of get it to look like it's even. And then I just want to make sure that I'm at 5.5 inches from the tip to the rubber band and cut the extra off. And then we can put in the rest of the petals. We're almost finished. Again, this is on the small Unique in a Creek board, the flower board. I'm using roll 2 and roll 3, 32 zip ties, 32 pieces of mesh cut 10 by 10. I'm using the poly burlap, the royal blue, just going around kind of making sure that everything is lining up. Two more petals, and that is it. I cut up all the mesh, so that's why I have extra petals. I'm going to cut these ties. And this is what we have so far. Kind of want to make sure that your petals is going in between. Here's the top of my board. Right there. Thank you, Dorothy. So, let me spin this around. So if anybody wants to take us a shot of the back, this is what it looks like when the holes that you've used and put the petals in. And I put my pipe cleaner up at the top. Now we're going to add the sign. Again, this sign is from Personally Yours. And I added my cable mount with my pipe cleaner. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it, I should have probably put holes in the middle, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to stick it in 2 of the holes on row 4. Let me turn it over. I want to make sure that it is even. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish twisting this. And then I'm going to put it back into the one of the holes. So that way it doesn't scratch anybody's door. Also, too, what is really nice is you can put your business card or your sticker or whatever on the back. So then that way, whoever purchased this wreath, if they want to buy another one from you, all they got to do is turn to the back of this wreath, and there's your business card or your sticker, and they know where they bought that wreath from. So here is the finished product. Might have to fix some of my petals. I want to make sure that they're in between. That's kind of just my OCD getting to me. But I mean, look how easy this was, guys. Didn't take long at all. I mean, obviously cutting the mesh, I used a wood burner, even though pretty much my petals were folded. I still used a wood burner. And then I made them, but putting it together, I mean, I think we were on 35 minutes. And you could use any sign. This one is an 8-inch metal sign that I used. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I had a feeling that this was going to go pretty fast. Again, if you need any boards, please use my affiliate link at Unique in the Creek. It's pinned up at the top of my page. You'll get 5% off your board. Plus you can, I'm not sure if they have the blue mesh or not, but if not, you could always go to the Craft Outlet or the Wreath shop. And I know Mindy from Mindy's Charms, she has the affiliate link with the Wreath shop for you guys to use. I don't know if there's a discount or not, but she does have an affiliate link. All right, so if there's no questions or anything, I'm gonna let you guys go and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming and joining me. I'm hoping to come again next week with another petal wreath for you guys. So until then, you guys stay blessed, be safe, and have a really, really nice evening, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.